Hey everybody, this is Gregory from Dapp University. This video is all about Ethereum for Python developers. So if you know Python and you want to get into blockchain, then you are in the right place. And this is the first video in a series about Web3 for Python developers. So you're going to want to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already to see those videos when they come out. And you can also turn on notifications with the little bell icon down below. And as always, if you're interested in learning how to build blockchain technology, you can download my courses for free on my website over at dappuniversity.com/free download. And really quickly, if you want to become a highly paid blockchain developer, then you need my online blockchain developer bootcamp, which is coming out on May 15th, 2019. And you can find out more information on my website at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp, and I'll put a link to that down in the description below. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the Web3 library to talk to the Ethereum blockchain. And if you're a Python developer, then this library is going to be, your go-to library for talking to Ethereum. It has all kinds of stuff that you're going to need to build blockchain applications. And this is going to be the first video in a series on Web3. And I also actually have a JavaScript version of this course already. You can find that on my website over at dappuniversity.com, where I kind of show you the Web3.js library. It's got, a full-length article, code examples, and stuff like that. So I'm going to, turn this video into a series of videos. And I'll probably have an article with it pretty soon. So if you're watching this video, by the time that article is out, you can probably check the link down in the description below to find it. If it's not there yet, just be patient, and I will probably eventually get around to creating an article for this series. All right, so what is Web3? Well, like I said, it's going to be your go-to library for building blockchain applications with Python. And it's a library that allows you to talk to the Ethereum blockchain. It's going to allow you to read information about the blockchain, like the blocks and the transactions. You'll be able to actually send Ethereum cryptocurrency around, like create transactions. You're going to be able to interact with smart contracts, deploy smart contracts, and a whole lot more. So I'm going to go over all of that in this series. But first, I want to just introduce you to this resource. This is Web3, readthedocs.io, where you can find the Python version and, reference this in addition to all the content that I create for this tutorial series. This is a great documentation reference where you can find all of the, examples for anything you might ever want to learn how to do with the Web3 library. So let's talk about actually how Ethereum works and how a blockchain works and how we can interact with it with this library. So basically, the Ethereum blockchain is a network of nodes, which basically means that it's a bunch of computers that all talk to one another. And all of the nodes on the network share a copy of all the data, all the blocks that make up the blockchain are on each computer. And they basically, participate in maintaining the network, right? And we can talk to a single node on the network right here and act on behalf of the entire network. So essentially, we can read data from the blockchain, we can find all the transactions, we can read information from smart contracts, we can, do all that kind of stuff just by talking to a single node. But we need some kind of interface to, talk to that node and get data from the blockchain and, make transactions and stuff like that. And that's exactly where the Web3 library comes in. It's going to give us a way to talk to an Ethereum node with Python and, get data back, send data, create transactions, all that kind of stuff, okay? And there's a lot more I could say here. Basically, we're going to talk to an Ethereum node with RPC, which is basically just a protocol for, talking to Ethereum nodes. And you can see that right here. And that's what, Web3 handles under the hood. So you don't have to build all that stuff yourself. You just get it for free. Okay. And so what we're going to do is use the Web3 library with Python to talk to Ethereum nodes, and we're going to basically just get a URL for a ready-to-go Ethereum node so that we can talk to the blockchain directly without having to run a node ourselves. It's really nice. We can, kind of get up and running fast without having to download all the blockchain data and keep it in sync and stuff like that. So that being said, the next thing you're going to want to do is head over to aetherium.io to get a link to an Ethereum node. And that's what we're going to use to create our connection to the blockchain. Infura is basically an Ethereum as a node service, which gives us access to the network, right? And so basically, once you sign up, we actually have a new convention here. You're going to see a a way to create a project. So sign up, create a project, get an endpoint like this. Don't use my endpoint. I'll probably delete this after I create the video anyway. But copy that and keep it handy because that's what we're going to need in order to connect to our Ethereum node. All right, so let's jump in and actually start writing some Python code and talk to the blockchain with Web3. All right, so in order to get started with Web3 on Python, you're going to want to, have Python installed, have a virtual environment set up, all that kind of stuff. So once you've got all that ready to go, we can install Web3 like this. We can just say, pip install Web3. All right, so I've already got it. And I also created a requirements.txt file in this directory. So I'll show you more about that later in this video when we actually turn this into a code project. But for now, we're just gonna install everything manually, run it in the terminal, in the console, all that kind of stuff. So what we'll do now is actually take the Infura URL that you got from registration step and just make sure you got that handy. I've got mine here. I'm just gonna put it here. So now I'm going to actually open the console. Let's say Python. All right. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually import Web3 like this. I'll just say from Web3 import capital Web3. Okay. Lowercase Web3, capital Web3. All right. So that worked. And what I'm going to do is take this Infura URL, copy it. I'm going to say Infura URL equals this. All right. And now I'm going to create a new Web3 connection like this. I'll say Web3 equals, so I'm going to do this, say capital Web3, Web3 dot HTTP provider. I'm going to pass in the Infura URL. Oops. All right. Oops. Sorry about that. I mistyped that. I just left the 3 off of Web3. So yeah, Web3 equals, capital Web3, and we're going to pass in the HTTP provider like this, and then pass in our Infura URL. All right, so now I'm actually just going to see if it's connected, and we can do that like this. We can say Web3.is connected. All right, it's true. So we are actually talking to Ethereum, and we can further verify this with a really easy step. What we're going to do is just get the latest block on Ethereum, right? So Ethereum is a blockchain made up of bundles of records called blocks, which are chained together to make the blockchain. Each block's got a number, and we can read the latest block number with Web3 like this. We can say Web3. We do the ETH or ETH or ETH namespace, say block number. All right. And that's the current block number. And it might change if I do it again. No, it stayed the same. But you could, whenever you do this, your number will be different. And if I do this probably 10 minutes from now, it might also be different. So I'll show you the next thing, which is actually, interacting with accounts on Ethereum, right? So let me pull up the diagram that I had a minute ago where I kind of showed you how Ethereum works. So whenever we, talk to the network, everyone who uses the blockchain has a unique address. So this is a very different paradigm from the regular web. If you go to a web application and you sign up, you get a username and a password, and you're a user of the application. Well, when you use the blockchain, you actually are a user of the entire network. And when you are a user of the network, you get an address, right? And that address is going to correspond to your account, which has some sort of balance, right? And that, balance, sometimes called, your account sometimes is called a wallet that's going to have this balance. And that's going to tell you, how much Ether or Ethereum cryptocurrency that you have. And also you can store tokens in it and things like that. And you can use it to interact with smart contracts. But basically, we're going to think about it like an account and a wallet right now that actually stores some Ethereum cryptocurrency. And with Web3, we can actually find stuff out about the account, see how much Ethereum is in it. So I'm going to use my real account with my MetaMask wallet. So if you're not familiar with MetaMask, this is basically just a wallet for, talking to Ethereum. And I have a real account in here. This is the Ethereum main network. I've got some real Ether. I've got almost 3 ETH in here. And I want to read information about this account with Web3 Python. So what I'm going to do is actually get the account balance. So we can do it like this. So I'm going to go to the terminal here. I'm going to say Web3. Let's see here. Get balance. Sorry, get balance. I'm just going to paste in my MetaMask address that I copied from my clipboard. Okay, say balance. All right. So we can see this number here. We actually got a number back. So that looks like a lot. That's not actually Ether. I wish it was Ether. It'd be great if I had that much Ether in my wallet. That's actually Wei. So Wei is kind of like a penny on Ethereum. It's the smallest you can subdivide Ether. It's actually to 18 decimal places. But we can actually convert that to Ether like this with a utility inside Web3. We can say Web3 from Wei, and pass in the balance and convert it to Ether. All right, there we go. And we can see that number matches actually what's in my MetaMask account, all right? All right, so that's how you do this in the console. And I'm actually going to turn this into a project. So I'm gonna open this in Sublime Text. And I've created a new project inside of here where we're gonna use this for the rest of the tutorial series. We'll actually write the code inside of a script, and we'll run the script instead of doing everything inside the console over again. You don't have to open it and then load your provider every time. Basically, we're going to put all the code inside here. So I'll just show you a quick example of that. We can just run the script like this. You can say import. We'll do the same stuff we did inside the console. We'll say import Web3 from Web3. Then we can import our Infura URL like this. And now we can instantiate our Web3 connection, just like we did in the console. Web3 equals Web3, capital Web3, HTTP, provider. And then we'll pass in the Infura URL. And then we can print the block number. Well, actually, let's make sure it's connected first. We'll say Web3 is connected. And we'll print the block number. Okay. And then we will print the balance. Say balance equals web3.eth.getBalance. And I'm going to have to copy that MetaMask address again one more time. I don't remember it off the top of my head. So I'll do it like this. Okay. And then we'll print web3.fromWei. We'll say balance. I'll say Ether. Okay. Now let's hope I did all that right. Let's try to run the script. We'll say Python app.py. All right. Yep, it worked. So it's connected. There's the block number, and there's my Ether balance. So that's a good example project. Again, I've got a virtual environment set up. I've got these requirements in a file here so that we can load Web3 every time into our project. So yeah, I hope you all liked this video. That's all I got for today. Again, this is going to be the beginning of a series on Web3. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to see those next videos when they come out. Always click the like button down below. That really helps these videos get found so that more people can learn how to build blockchain technology. And again, don't forget about my boot camp, my blockchain developer boot camp, which is coming out on May 15th, 2019. And if it's already out, you can find out more information on my website over at dappuniversity.com. So again, I hope you all like this video. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.